For generations, archaeologists and researchers around the world have been trying to understand and recreate in detail the lives of our ancestors. But despite all efforts, we've so far only succeeded in uncovering a fraction of the actual history of mankind, a circumstance that will soon be a thing of the past thanks to recent sensational finds. From powerful female rulers that experts have never heard of before, to the true role of women in the Bronze Age, the breathtaking discoveries make the past centuries shine in a completely new light. But what did the experts uncover in detail? And what groundbreaking conclusions can be drawn from the finds? Stay tuned and make your own picture. Here are 10 archaeological discoveries that are rewriting history. What remarkable archaeological finds have you heard about lately? Feel free to give us a thumbs up and a subscribe, and tell us below in the comments. The most exciting and informative comments will receive a heart from us and be pinned at the top. The Forgotten Queen. The necropolis of Saqqara is undoubtedly one of the most famous relics from ancient Egypt. Presumably, the roots of this necropolis go back almost 5,000 years, and yet we are still miles away from having deciphered all its secrets. This is also demonstrated by the sensational discovery recently made in Saqqara by the team led by Egyptologist Zahi Hawass. The researchers discovered more than 300 sarcophagi and mummies at the pyramid of the pharaoh Teti. In the immediate vicinity, the experts in turn recovered another pyramid from the time of that very ruler. The exciting thing, although the tomb was, to all appearances, dedicated to one of Teti's wives, the Egyptologist had never heard of the mysterious queen. Thanks to an obelisk inscription, we know that she was named Neith. The epithet daughter of the god Geb testifies again that what we have here is a woman from a royal house. Apart from this, however, there are no records about the ancient Egyptian queen, who was completely forgotten in the course of the centuries. Genetic disk. A look at the so-called genetic disk awakens a central question in us. How did the people 6,000 years ago know how life unfolds in the womb? Tracked down in South America and measuring around 22 centimeters and weighing 2 kilos, the mysterious artifact has been the focus of heated debates ever since its discovery. After all, the entire process of life development, from conception through the development of the fetus to birth, is amazingly accurately reproduced on the 2 outer sides of the disc. For classification, officially, the year of the discovery of the spermatozoa is dated 1677. However, the images on the artifact prove that this knowledge was already in circulation 4,300 years earlier. Scientists suspect that the genetic disk came from the ranks of the Muisca culture. Do you have any idea where the profound knowledge of these people could have come from? Feel free to write us below in the comments. Deadly diet. For nearly 250,000 years, Neanderthals managed to successfully hold their own against a wide variety of adversaries. But then, about 30,000 years ago, the relative of modern man was to disappear from the earthly scene for all time. And until today, the experts puzzle over it. Which factors for the extinction of the Neanderthal were responsible? In this regard, too low birth rates, lacking defenses, and the expulsion by Homo sapiens are discussed. But also, the special way of nutrition should not be disregarded in this historical mystery. Thus, the analysis of some millennia-old tooth finds revealed that the Neanderthals fed almost exclusively on meat. While the food plan of the first humans contained animal and vegetable food, its relative might have fallen back only in the emergency on berries, nuts, and roots. However, the stocky, muscular stature that Neanderthals possessed came at a high price. To meet his energy needs, an adult Neanderthal had to consume up to 5,000 calories or 2 kilograms of meat daily. As soon as food became scarce during the bitterly cold winter months, he probably went into some type of hibernation. with other things, such as reproduction, naturally taking a back seat. Homo sapiens, which was much more agile and flexible in terms of diet, probably coped much better in such times of crisis. Bronze statues. Also, in the case of the 2,000-year-old bronze statues found in Italy a few months ago, in order to understand why this might change the writing of history, we need to place it in historical context. Recovered in an ancient Tuscan thermal spring and perfectly preserved by the mud, the 24 figures date back to a time when the region was marked by numerous wars and conflicts. And yet, the very existence and location of the objects shows that, despite all the disputes, Roman and Etruscan families prayed together to the gods. In fact, the statues depicting, among others, the deities of Apollo and Hygeia bear both Etruscan and Latin inscriptions. This is something to keep in mind. While bloody battles were fought outside the sacred thermal springs, the great Etruscan and Roman elite families turned to the gods together and peacefully. Among experts, this discovery is one of the most significant ever made in the Mediterranean. It sheds a completely new light on historical reality. Crannog. Take some tree trunks, stones and sand, and form an artificial island. And the crannog is ready. When researchers rediscovered the first of these constructs in the late 19th century, crannog research experienced a veritable archaeological boom. To date, some 3,000 artificial islands have been located in Ireland, on the Scottish Hebridean Islands, and on the Scottish mainland. However, their location in the water, of course, comes with some major complications for researchers. Basically, we know that the crannogs were built from the Neolithic period to the 16th century. A recent discovery, in turn, showed the experts who inhabited the artificial islands in the past. After employees of Norway's Uet Arctic University took sediment samples from crannog sites, they came across ancient genetic material in them, known as cetDNA. Combined with the biochemical data, they concluded that the structures were once used by elites. The bone fragments discovered showed that large feasts were sometimes celebrated in the crannogs, with lots of meat on the table. However, the artificial islands also had a dark side. Forests had to be cut down or cleared for their construction. At the same time, the waste of the inhabitants polluted the ecosystem of the lake. GOSFORD glyphs. A first look at the GOSFORD glyphs suggests they are clearly the typical characters of the ancient Egyptians. The problem: the mysterious symbols do not adorn any ancient Egyptian temple at all, but an area in New South Wales, Australia. Specifically, the signs are located in a region known for its Aboriginal petroglyphs. While some individuals see the GOSFORD glyphs as proof as the Pharaonic Empire people established a colony down under as early as 4,500 years ago, most master researchers dismiss them as modern forgeries. Not only are the authentic Aboriginal symbols much more eroded than the hieroglyphs, no, some Egyptian pictographs were carved into the stone upside down. ELAMIAN stroke script. Until November 27, 2020, the Elamite stroke script embodied the great unknown. But then the French archaeologist François Dusset came to the public and proudly announced that after 10 years of research, he had finally succeeded in discovering the ancient symbols. However, the language used by the Elam people between the years 3000 and 640 BC in what is now Iran is still one of the most mysterious on the globe. Since no relationship with any other known language can be proved, some experts believe it was originated in isolation. The stone and brick inscriptions discovered so far are mostly addressed directly to the gods. VIP boxes. Located in western Turkey, the ancient city of Pergamon continues to cast an unbroken spell on researchers. Just how many secrets and findings still lie dormant on the site was recently brought home to experts once again. The examination of an 1,800-year-old arena revealed that it contained personalized VIP boxes. According to the findings, some of the arena's best seats were adorned with carved names. Experts estimate that between 15 and 50,000 people could fit into the amphitheater. Lost Mayan City. What experts have failed to do for decades, a teenager managed to do with the help of a few mouse clicks to prove his thesis that the locations of ancient Mayan cities were linked to the constellation. 15-year-old William Gattery went in search of clues. With the help of Google Earth and some satellite images from the Canadian Space Agency, William turned his attention to the region on Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula that, according to his star theory, must have been home to a Mayan settlement. And indeed, the teenager made out some striking geometric shapes there, which could hardly have been formed naturally. Even more, an analysis of the pictures confirmed that what we could have here is one of the 5 largest known Maya cities of all. The amazing thing, before the teenager hit the headlines with his idea of the star constellation, no professional scientist had ever pursued it. Meaningful burial. Were women in the Bronze Age possibly more powerful than we have assumed so far? The study of a 3,700-year-old tomb in the Spanish city of Murcia brings this very question to light. In detail, the researchers came across a burial site in which a man and woman had been laid to rest together. The nearly 30 precious objects that were given to them for their journey to the afterlife leave no doubt that they belonged to the upper class during their lifetime. However, since the woman's head had been adorned with a silver crown, experts believe that she may have been more important than her husband. While the remains of the woman are adorned with many other ornaments, the corpse of the man is remarkably plain. So folks, now it's your turn. Which discovery fascinated you the most? Feel free to leave us a like and a subscribe, and write it in the comments. And with that, thanks for watching, take care, and see you next time.